So, let's see what we have here. All right, on that tip, I want to do this song. This is the theme I'm always talking about, and giving a shout out to Reverend Deborah L. Johnson, our wonderful elder, teacher, minister, Reverend Deborah L. Johnson at Inner Light Ministries here in Santa Cruz, who is a diversity coach, a diversity trainer, and she has some trainings coming up soon, and I highly, deeply recommend that you do it, and actually do it. Take her classes, look her up, go to Inner Light Ministries online, and she's teaching in a way that I don't see a lot happening in the world right now about social justice issues. She's a black woman. She's a member of the LGBTQ community. Grew up in the whole civil rights movements, and very brilliant mind and experience, as well as having a deep understanding historically. And this whole racial injustice, what we call that, and how the root of it is othering. So we're at a very key point in our history, and you could say we've always been there. Why I say that we're at a key point right now is that what our black kin, our brothers and sisters, and people have been dealing with as far as oppression and murder and so much injustice for hundreds of years, that why it's important for white folks and European folks, people passing as white, what we call white, right? It's so funny how we use these colors, but what we understand now is if we don't change, that's going to be you. Because if we're going to other any group of people, that means we're saying it's okay to hurt anyone. That's not what I meant to say. Obviously, it's wrong. Violence, oppression, domination. It's like a limited reaction to something, and it's harmful. It doesn't help humanity. We know this. And when what happened to George Floyd when he was murdered on camera, a year and 2 months ago, I think it was, right? It was last June. I mean, we saw that. We all saw that. And it's happened how many more times? Like hundreds and thousands more times than we ever saw, because we didn't see the other times that happened to people of color. And what I'm saying is, a lot of white folks got really interested in learning about how they and we, because I'm mixed, so I'm part white, so me too, we're creating more of the problem by thinking, well, I'm not racist, I'm not this. We need to see how because of our privilege, privilege is something that you can't see because it's just naturally there. It's like breathing. You don't even realize you have it, so you're not aware of it, right? So we didn't realize, those of us that are light or white, how we were perpetuating the problem. And so a lot of people started reading White Fragility, How to Be an Anti-Racist, all these different books, and a lot of change started to happen and healing, but then I'm hearing and seeing like people falling off. And so I want to reinvigorate this message. Why is it important for you as a person, as a human, but as a person of white ancestry, to be concerned or help our fellow members of the community who have that privilege of the skin color that's light, to realize that when you look at George Floyd, he's saying, I am you. if we allow this to go on and we don't take responsibility, that which is ours, then we're going to be supporting slavery for humanity. And that might already be happening. We just might not see it. In some of the ways our freedoms are being taken away. Because of this health crisis. We need to ask questions. We need to look. No others. There are no others. I am you. You are me. Welcome to church, y'all. Would you dream of tragedy? If you could dream of anything, what's it gonna take for us to see that I'm you and you are me? Let's make a new reality. They say that it starts with family. Family. They say that it starts with family. Family. The roots of all conflict are based on one thing. The idea that we're separate causes all suffering. This me against you, divide and conquer thing of white supremacist constructs that so-called freedom ring. We're crying out, crying at the heart of humanity. Hey, hey. 'Cause we all remember what we saw on our screens that day. Let's make a promise to not let this be in vain. Hey, hey. We've got the power and privilege to make lasting change. Hey, hey. Would you dream of tragedy? If you could dream of anything, what's it gonna take for us to see that I'm you and you and me? Let's make a new reality. They say that it starts with family. Family. They say that it starts with family. Family. Yeah. Yo, can we turn it up just a little bit? Tiny bit. Music. Speaking of that line, I kept asking myself when I wrote this chorus, the original name of this song was Responsibility. And ultimately, that might end up being the name of the song because it's our responsibility to rise to the occasion, to do something differently in how we respond to what's going on in the world, the injustice, in just ice, frozen. We can't stay frozen. We need to melt the ice. Remember our humanity. I gotta be honest, I started reading the book White Fragility, and then I put it down. And I'm making a commitment right now to finish that book and to ask my brothers and sisters who are also melanated but who are darker than me, and I say that because they have had the experiences of injustice and racism that I haven't had. I have privilege because of my light skin, whether I want to or not. So one of my sisters misunderstood me a few years ago when I said my darker brothers and sisters. It's like, I'm saying that because I am light and I haven't had the experience of racist treatment. That's a privilege. And so as a person, as an ally to my brothers and sisters, it is my responsibility to learn about how my lightness and my whiteness has perpetuated the problem of this systemic issue. not to create more shame. And that's why I want you guys to go check out Reverend Deborah L. Johnson at Inner Light Ministries. Go look at her next classes. I'm going to be doing the one in October. I'm going to be helping out. Because it's not about perpetuating the cycle of shame either. And there's too much of that going on with the people trying to share this message of, yes, we need to educate. White folks need to educate, and light folks, and we need to understand how we're perpetuating the problem of this injustice, but we also need to not perpetuate shame. And that's why I like Reverend Deborah. Bringing it back to my original point about othering. If we other one group of people, we're perpetuating the problem of continuing that pattern of separation, which then creates this division between us as human beings. And from that place of division, governments and whatever, that's how they step in with, often they will step in and bring a solution, but the solution often isn't something that is really the best for us. That's the divide and conquer method that's been used for hundreds of years by governments. We need to rely on ourselves and each other. We have the power to rise to the occasion, to own our responsibility, our ability to respond. How are we using it? Oh, yeah. Let's bring back the chorus. Yeah. Would you dream of tragedy? If you could dream of anything, what's it gonna take for us to see that I'm you and you are me? Let's make a new reality. They say that it starts with family. They say that it starts with family. Yeah. So some of you have seen my recent post on my personal page where I share a story about my daughter. And she recently had an experience in her housing situation where the people she lived with, unknowingly from what we could see so far, were gaslighting her. And were basically othering her and making her wrong for something that they wouldn't take responsibility for on their part. And this is a deep, deep issue that we have in our culture of domination, narcissism, and ways of thinking that are limited to the person thinking of themselves only. And some of it is spiritual bypassing, or what I've heard it's called is, I forgot what it's called, but it's, okay, what's my point? What I'm saying is, I wrote this song also in the back of my mind thinking of where in my life and in myself do I need to heal with my family? Because if I'm saying it starts with family, where is that for me? And my own daughter has been teaching me so many things that I wasn't able to see before, where I was othering her. And it's really deep because she and I have been through some painful situations and some trauma that affected my ability to see that, because I didn't want to look at the trauma. I didn't know how to process what I went through. But as a result, it was causing me to harm her with my lack of emotional, intelligence at the time. And it does take a certain amount of willingness to be able to look at ourselves. And I know on the show, I think it's called Grown-ish. It's that show where they're addressing the conversation, or, they've been addressing it for, I think, a year now, but about white fragility and about, because it goes beyond white. It starts with, that's the first conversation, I think, because it's the most prominent and the deepest and the oldest in our country, the issue of race and racism. So to start there, but to go beyond that and realize that it goes deeper, that is the door opening conversation for us to be able to talk about and look at as a culture where we each have responsibility that maybe we have not been taking so far. In our personal lives, in our social lives. And I'm doing that in my family now, and I'm experiencing healing on a whole other level that I wasn't even able to imagine. And so now this song has a deeper meaning for me, and I wanted to share that with you because peace is possible. We can't buy these ideas of, oh yeah, love is whatever. When you're angry, it's hard to feel love, right? It's hard to feel, you can't really feel two emotions at once. Like not if they're opposite. It's just like not how things work. But it's possible to melt that anger and to get to the root, which is usually sorrow and pain underneath, and then you can come back to love. So, would you dream of tragedy? If you could dream of anything, what's it gonna take for us to see? That I'm you and you and me. Let's make a new reality. They say that it starts with family. Family. They say that it starts with family. Family. Yeah. Now everybody say, hey, I caught a vision. Now everybody say, hey, we on a mission. Now everybody say, hey, we got a vision. Now everybody say, hey, we on a mission. Changing the world. But it starts right here, oh, here with this girl, or that boy, or that man, or that person out there, or you and you and you. It's time to do what you got to do. Now everybody say, hey, we got a vision. Now everybody say, hey, 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 we on a mission. Changing the world. But it starts right here, oh, here with this girl. How we feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling? Like many times, the soul bath is in what we call kairos. I forget how to say it. My sister Haley taught me about that. It's about divine time, not necessarily chronos, which is like linear time.